Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do a little foundation review. I was asked if I would try out the new Estee Lauder Futurist Hydrating Rescue Moisturizing Broad Spectrum SPF 45 Foundation. Now this little guy here has been compared to the new Tom Ford shade in Illuminate foundation. The first 14 ingredients are pretty much the same. So people were saying, you know what, I'd love to see this on your skin since I've done some previous reviews of that Tom Ford shade in Illuminate. So I was gonna do a full wear test using this Estee Lauder foundation. I will also share with you some of my thoughts of the comparisons between the Tom Ford shade in Illuminate foundation and this guy. And then just give you just a basic wear test because this might be something that you would be interested in. So if you're interested in learning more about this, let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, let's learn a little bit more about this Estee Lauder. This is the Futurist Hydrating Rescue Foundation with SPF 45. Now I'm gonna be honest, I have not really used any Estee Lauder foundations because I had a little reaction to trying double wear way back when. So I had a rosacea outbreak from that foundation, so I've kind of steered clear of Estee Lauder. But many of you were asking if I would review this guy because it is supposed to be very similar to the new Tom Ford shade in Illuminate, which I have tried. So for the sake of YouTube, we are gonna give this a try and hope for the best. I purchased this in 2-in-1. That was what I was matched to in the store. And I wanna give you a little bit of information about it. So it is $45 and it is 1.2 fluid ounces. So it's got a little bit more than your traditional foundation, which are normally just 1 ounce. It comes in a beautiful little squeezy tube, and this kind of reminded me of that YSL Glow 2B foundation. And so at first I thought that's what people were comparing it to, but it's actually this new Futurist Hydrating Rescue Moisturizing Foundation. Now let's learn a little bit more about this, and I do have to admit it sounded right up my alley because I really like moisturizing, hydrating foundations. So it says it is a flawless foundation with breathable coverage. It's going to give you a radiant finish powered with Estee Lauder skincare to hydrate, soothe, and protect. The coverage is going to be medium. Finish radiant, and it's a liquid formulation, comes in a little pump. This is going to be fantastic for travel. The SPF 45, this is again a mix of chemical and physical sunscreen. So again, if you aren't doing well with chemical sunscreens, you're going to want to pass on this guy. Said to have some good skincare benefits in it. So when I was at the counter, she was telling me that this had chia seed extract that's going to nourish the skin, probiotic technology that soothes the skin, and then a ion charged water that will hydrate. So again, I laughing because I love chia seeds. I love probiotic. I take one every single day. So now it's coming into our skincare. What else you need to know? It says clinical testing shows it soothes visible redness and irritation. It's going to protect against pollution with antioxidants and hydrates instantly and all day. It evens the skin tone and covers redness, dark spots, and imperfections. It looks natural with breathable, buildable, medium to full coverage that lasts 12 hours. So in one area, you guys, it's just saying that it's medium coverage. In another, it's saying medium to full. I'm sure that's acting as if we can build this up. So I am going to give this a little test today and kind of excited about it. I have not tried this in a while. Now, I will tell you there is fragrance in the ingredient deck, but what I have learned specifically from Mel Thompson, she had taken a look at the ingredient deck between the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate and then as well as this guy, and the first 14 ingredients were the same. Now, Estee Lauder now owns Tom Ford, and so that would kind of make sense. I think we are often buying the same similar kind of products from different brands. So we are gonna give this a test today and see how it goes. I will pull back my hair for this purpose here. Okay guys, let's pump some of this out. Here we go. And as you can see, it's got kind of a thin consistency here. And let's go ahead, we'll dab this on to my skin. And then I'm gonna buff it out with a brush. That is the way that the woman at the counter told me would be, either fingertips or with a brush. So actually we'll do a little bit of fingertips because it's really easy to glide onto the skin. I'm gonna take my IT Cosmetics now, you guys. As you can see already, just with a little bit of fingertips, this is a really nice glowy, radiant foundation. I'm now gonna take my IT Cosmetics brush and kind of buff this into the skin. Okay guys, I have used my fingertips and then buffed it into the skin, and I just want to give you a little update. First of all, it feels very comfortable on the skin. There is a touch of fragrance. To me, it almost smells like cucumbers. But it isn't overpowering. It is a clean fragrance, not necessarily like perfumey. And so far my skin, usually if there's a fragrance in foundations that it is irritated by, it will tell me right away, kind of like give me a little bit of prickly. And this one actually feels better than the Tom Ford Shade in Illuminate, just because my skin does not necessarily love lavender. Okay, so I'm gonna bring you in a little closer, and I put my eyeballs on already, you guys, just for the sake of time, because we're focusing on foundation. And I just want to show you the foundation. And you guys, I am in Desert Beige, that is 2 in 1. And I think it's a pretty darn good match. I know it may look a little light on screen, but it is kind of melding in, and we're gonna warm up the skin in a minute with bronzer. Okay, so as you can see, totally radiant. Definitely have a radiant kind of glow going on. I do want to emphasize one thing, just like with the Shade and Illuminate, you guys, I am seeing an emphasis of my pores over here. So I think these radiant kind of moisturizing ones right here, you guys, it is not horrible, but I am definitely seeing a little bit right in here. I'm gonna zoom you in. Okay, right in here, you guys, I am seeing a little emphasis through my pores. I did not use any primer, okay? So we are going to powder down, but just wanted to show you that area. Otherwise, I love the way this is looking on the cheeks. Okay, one little observation, you guys. When I first tried the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate that I tested over several days, I could feel a little bit of irritation on my personal skin from the addition. There is some lavender, I believe, oil in it, or some sort of lavender extract that my skin just doesn't like lavender. So whatever this fragrance is more like cucumber and it's not irritating it right off the bat. Now I am going to powder down today because using the Shade and Illuminate, I had tested that without powder for a few days, and you really do need to powder down in that area. You're still gonna have a beautiful glow. So I am going to use my kind of favorite powder, and this is the Sicily. This is the loose powder. And we are just gonna come through, and I am just gonna kind of dust this down the T-zone, and then we're gonna look and see if that took care of those pores. Light dusting, I don't want to overly powder this down. Okay, you guys, that did seem to do the trick. I'm gonna zoom you in one more time. Much better. Now, again, I can still see a little bit, but the powder helped. You still have a lot of glow with this foundation without, even with that kind of powder. Okay, let me go put on bronzer and a little bit of blush, and then we will do some check-ins throughout the day. Okay guys, I put on a little bronzer, a little blush, and here is what it looks like from afar. And you guys, it is a really pretty foundation. So it is definitely glowy, and it's very comfortable on the skin. I will say that I'm not having any of those kind of feelings where I just like, ooh, I want to take this off. I do have the same issue that I had with the Tom Ford shade in Illuminate, just a little bit of emphasis right in this area where I did not know that I had pores, and it is seeming to kind of gather just a little bit in this area. I'm gonna zoom you in so you can see what I'm talking about. You guys, on both sides of my nose, I am seeing it's minimal, but I'm definitely seeing some gathering of the product in there, as well as just a little bit of dots. Little bit of dots right through here, pores right here, where normally with other foundations I do not tend to have that. I just feel like it's kind of collecting in there, and I'm starting to learn that basically, you guys, anything, I love a good moisturizing kind of foundation, but I think these ones that are like extra radiant or a little bit kind of dewy looking might be a little bit too much for my skin, which is sort of surprising because yes, I am older, 51, and I do have dry skin, but that is what I would kind of mention just off the top, very similar to Tom Ford shade in Illuminate. So hoping this is helpful, and I will check in, you guys, after wearing this for several hours. We are doing a little check-in. I have had this foundation on for 6 hours, and I'm gonna be really honest, from far away, I think it looks lovely, glowy, healthy, all that good stuff. When I am in the car, where you can often see a lot of your imperfections, I am noticing this is wearing very similar to the Tom Ford shade in Illuminate, and it is emphasizing pores right through here, and it's giving me that little dots. So it is kind of emphasizing pores that I don't normally have with other foundations, and I also, it is showing sort of texture on the skin. Now, I'm not saying I don't have texture, but other foundations that I have will smooth them over, and it's nothing that I actually notice. So I'm gonna pull you in real quick, and I just want to show you, you guys, there is like little dots here, and this is where it's emphasizing pores right through here. And then again, on some of the skin, I just felt like it was showing some texture that I just normally don't notice. So I'm not saying that I don't have that, but this part right through here, definitely, even with powder, I feel like it is just emphasizing pores right through here, and it's kind of gathering, and then since I'm doing that, it kind of gives me a more makeup appearance. So wearing almost identical to that Tom Ford shade in Illuminate. And for me to really be, I just feel like for myself personally, I have a ton of other foundations that do not emphasize these kind of issues. That is my check-in for now. I will do one more kind of a final day wear, and we can see what we actually think by the end of the day. But other than that, it is super comfortable on the skin. No complaints on that. And yes, it does give kind of a nice glowy kind of appearance on the skin. Okay guys, I am doing a final check-in on this Estee Lauder Foundation. I have now had this on for 12 hours, and that is what it promises, to have 12 hours of long wear. I'm gonna take a peek in the mirror at myself, and you know what guys? I think it wears about exactly the same as it has when I put this on. Still having the same issues that I had originally, and honestly, it is a very pretty foundation from afar. I really like the glowy look of it. I think it gives you a healthy, nice glow. It feels like nothing on your skin. And I will say one thing is I find this to be more comfortable than the Tom Ford shade in Illuminate, which felt a little bit heavier than this guy. So this feels like absolutely nothing on the skin. I think my problem really is this, you guys, is I'm gonna pull you in. It is, you can see a little bit of shine coming through my T-zone, but it is this area over here. I'm gonna bring you in a little closer. Okay guys, right in this zone right here, it is collecting and showing pores and some texture on my skin. And you guys, literally, I don't normally notice this right through here. Like I don't, these little pock marks, these are not things that I notice with other foundations. Okay, done being scared there. But this, you guys, this little area right through here, these are things that other foundations, I do not see. Those little pore marks right there are not. But so what I would say is, and I'm not someone who usually uses a pore filling kind of primer, because honestly I don't normally need it. So you guys, that would be like my little complaint, is just that I feel like I have personally other foundations that do not gather in that area, so it is bothering me that it does so. But it does have a very pretty healthy glow. So you guys, that would be kind of my final thing. If I was going to pick between the Tom Ford shade and Illuminate and the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue, I actually would think I would say go with this, because it is $45. You are going to get 1.2 fluid ounces. They are wearing very similarly. And this one does have fragrance. It does have the same mix of chemical and physical sunscreen. But at this price point, $45 versus $150, you're gonna get very similar results. So of course the bottle with Tom Ford is absolutely outstanding. So pretty. So my final thoughts on this is I wish that it didn't emphasize those pores in that area. It could be because it's such a hydrating kind of foundation, but I just have other foundations that I know don't do that. So that would be my one little beef and critique. But again, you guys, wanted to go ahead, share this review with you since I had requests for it. And I hope this was helpful, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.